Okay, continuing my examination from this bitter list written up by this bitter, angry, male-hating, whatever the heck she is, who goes by the name of Eve's daughter, who runs a blog site called Eve Bit First, who decided that because she hates men or despises men so much and thinks that all women are just guiltless little angels, that she supplied this list of characteristics and indicators that label all men guilty, essentially, of being supporters of the crime of rape. So, continuing on to her next indicator, she writes the following: he watches any pornography in which sex acts are depicted as a struggle for power or domination, regardless of whether women are present. So, if that's going to be your standard for declaring that a man is a supporter of rape, then I have to ask the rational question, the logical question that automatically comes to mind. What if during this power struggle porn, the participants engaging in the power struggle happens to be female dominant? That's assuming, of course, that we're talking about male-female heterosexual pornography. So let's take it to the next level. What does it suggest about a power struggle where the pornographic performers are both female and there are no males present? Oh, but that question is answered in the preceding indicator that you put up here, which says he watches pornography in which women are depicted. How many different languages can we say duh? Of course pornography is going to involve women being depicted. That's what pornography is. It's naked man and naked women engaging in naked activity, generally speaking. But again, to modify your accusation in order to get at the heart of what you're really trying to do here, then let's ask the question: what if the situation is the same, where somebody is watching and enjoying pornography, but there are no women present at all? Well, I got bad news for you. If that's the case, then it becomes either gay porn, or it's just a single guy performing a monologue in the nude. And I assure you that there are going to be no straight men that are going to be interested in looking at that kind of porn. Because in case you need to be reminded, opposites attract. But again, if watching and enjoying porn in which women are depicted is such a heinous crime, then again, let's extend it and take it to its next level. What does it say about women, or what does it suggest about women who watch porn in which men are depicted? And if the decisive factor is whether or not women are depicted, then let's ask this next logical question, which is, if women are depicted in porn, and women being depicted in porn is a bad thing, then what does that say about the attitudes of the women who watch porn in which women are depicted? Whether we're talking straight porn or lesbian porn. And especially lesbian porn, I'd love to get some sort of an answer or some sort of clarification on that one. Because not only do you have a woman being depicted, but you have more than one woman depicted in a company of other women. So you really got to be bad to the nth degree, and you must really think that lesbians who sit down and watch lesbian porn are the most evil, corrupt beings on the face of planet Earth, correct? So let's see, according to your logical breakdown here, if a man watches porn in which women are depicted, that makes him a supporter of rape. Then by logical conclusion, any woman who watches porn in which women are depicted is also a supporter of rape, unless she's watching man-on-man gay porn. But again, continuing with your logic, if a woman watches porn in which men are depicted, then logically we should attach something to that, since the attachment in porn involving women equates into being a supporter of rape. Then let's say, I don't know, anybody who watches porn in which men are depicted, let's say that they're supporters of paternity fraud. Hey, it's only fair, right? I mean, that's the condition, that's the standard that you set by declaring that something bad has to go along with the fact that you're watching something that involves two naked people engaging in sexual activity with one another. You can't have it both ways, or in this case, all 6 ways. And your preceding indicator also revolves around the issue of pornography. Damn, you've sure got pornography on your mind so much, don't you? So here you state that a man is a supporter of rape if he frames discussions of pornography in terms of, quote, freedom of speech, unquote. Newsflash for you, dearie, but that's how many, if not most, female supporters frame the discussion. So if a woman defends pornography on the grounds that it's protected or that the discussion should be framed on the basis of being a freedom of speech issue, then does that make her a rape supporter too? Curious minds want to know. Your next indicator, or your preceding indicator, which we had already addressed in the first upload of this series, but we'll go through it again a little bit more in-depthly. He is pro-choice because he believes abortion access will make women more sexually available. Again, can we sound the alert and shout out wake up call and run all up and down the sidewalks waving a newspaper up in our hands screaming extra, 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 newsflash, newsflash? Because obviously you're in severe denial. What you just laid out is exactly the reason why most women support access to abortion, and is the reason why most women want to keep it legal. The abortion cry grew straight out of the feminist movement and of the free sex and free love movements of the 60s and 70s, where women wanted to be sexually liberated without consequence. That's also the main reason why there's dozens of times more funding for research and development into female birth control, even now that women have about 24 separate methods already available to them, and men have to squeak by with only a mere pittance of only 2 effective birth control options, one of which involving permanent irreversible surgery, leaving men completely vulnerable to the shady whims of an unscrupulous woman should she ever decide to hold that Damocles over any man of her choice. Thank God for DNA testing. And of course your previous statement ahead of that, he is anti-abortion, which goes well beyond your classic flip-flop. This is nothing more than an evil, disingenuous catch-22 where a man falls victim to that old classic axiom, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because between these 2 statements, these 2 so-called indicators of someone who's a supporter of rape, exposes you as nothing but a blatant, dishonest, evil, hypocritical, conniving, hate-filled, rotten crotch. Just between these 2 statements alone is absolute proof that you have absolutely no concern about the issue of rape or women who fall victim to rape. Your entire purpose in setting up this list of indicators, as you so like to call them, is to serve absolutely no other purpose but to demonize men. All men. Period. You hateful, evil... I'm going to dispense with the adjectives. There's no need to run through the entire lexicon on you, because we've already shown exactly what you are and what your agenda is and what your true purpose is. Because essentially what you're saying, without you even realizing that you're saying it, is that you hate women. That's really what it comes down to. Or let me reclassify that. You hate heterosexual women, which is all the more indicator to me that you're nothing but a bitter, dejected, lonely, foul-crotched lesbian. And seeing how in your comments section you mentioned that bull dyke Andrea Dworkin, that hate-mongering misandrist who labeled all men as potential rapists, her quote, and you spoke of her in favorable terms, that about tells me all I need to know about you. And so in all honesty, I can stop right here. But I'm not done, because you weren't done. There's still close to 3/4 of a dozen of these rape supporter indicators left that need to be addressed. And I'm going to address each and every one of them, because I want to show the world exactly what the honorable and legitimately concerned philosophies of feminism have degraded and putrefied into. How an honorable and sincere philosophy, which preached the concepts and tenets of fairness and equality, and personal responsibility and accountability. How it has been hijacked and how it has been brutally reshaped into something utterly unrecognizable from its true, purest form. So I'll be back shortly to finish up on these, because these are not the kind of attacks that should be allowed to go without proper and due retaliation. Talented 10th.